Hi guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. So just like my previous two Halloween movie reviews, this review will contain some spoilers, so if you guys haven't seen the movie and you really want to watch it, then I suggest you don't watch this video because it's kind of full of spoilers. So yeah, go watch it, make your own opinion, and then come back if you're interested. But to everybody else, welcome to the review. And make sure to let me know if you've seen the movie, what you think about Halloween 3, because I'm very interested to hear what you guys have to say about this one, because this one's is crazy. Dr. Daniel Dan Chalice and Ellie Grimbridge, the daughter of a murder victim, uncover a terrible plot by small-town mask maker, a madman who's planning a Halloween mass murder utilizing an ancient Celtic ritual. The ritual involves a boulder stolen from Stonehenge, the use of silver shamrock masks, and a triggering device contained in a television commercial, all designed to kill millions of children. So yeah, that synopsis already makes it sound crazy. A boulder stolen from Stonehenge. It just shows a lot about this movie. I went into this with the lowest expectations possible because I kind of know that the Halloween movies kind of start going downhill. That's what I've heard, at least. I wasn't too excited because I knew Michael Myers wasn't going to be in it, and it just felt strange to have a Halloween movie without Michael. And this movie is really just the outlier, the anomaly of the Halloween movies, and it's not even a good one, unfortunately, so yeah. But creators of Halloween, John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, said that Halloween was originally planned to be an anthology. The first two were going to be its own contained story because you definitely kind of get closure in Halloween 2. They wanted to make an anthology series of events happening in Halloween night, and I think that concept is super interesting, and I think Halloween could have been saved a lot of repetitiveness and just a lot of the issues that it had if it had gone the anthology route, but they didn't do a very good job with this movie, and I think that's why it ultimately failed. Also, audiences had already associated Halloween with the face of Michael Myers, like he was the face of Halloween, so seeing this, audiences back then were also kind of like, what's the point of this? We want to see more Michael. And Michael briefly makes appearances in this movie, like on the TV. They show the movie, and it's like weird because it gets me questioning, like, what is this movie trying to say about Michael Myers? Like, I don't get how it all coexists. Like, I just don't understand, because I genuinely think this movie could have been better if it would have had some connections to other movies. I'll talk about that more later when I get to the ending of the movie and stuff, because like watching it, I think there were so many missed opportunities because I love anthologies, but I think there's like a really cool thing that you could do with anthology where everything kind of happens in the same world. So yeah, we'll get to that later. But the opening scene of this movie is actually pretty good. Like, I won't lie, it got me really invested in the plot. I like the score of this movie a lot. It's kind of very nostalgic, 80s vibes, but also kind of really eerie. I really like the opening. I was like, what's happening? There's a random guy getting chased, and I like the way it was shot. I think this movie looks really good. The director, Tommy Lee Wallace, I think did a really good job of making this movie just look good and have a lot of tension with its shots. I really like the way he directs that first opening shot because you see the car coming closer and closer and we don't really know who it is. And then when we do see who it is, it's kind of just a regular dude. And I honestly liked that because I was like, what does this even mean? I went into this movie just completely not knowing anything about it, and I thought it was really interesting to just like see a bunch of random guys killing people. I was like, whoa, is this a cult? And it kind of is a cult, so that was pretty interesting. And I think just like by the first scene and a lot of scenes in this movie, I think this movie does a really good job of giving us atmosphere and having like a weird factor to it, but that only happens sometimes, and that's like the big issue with this movie. I think this movie has a lot of really boring scenes. I was watching this and it's a really short runtime, and it was making it really hard for me to get through it, and I think one of the worst things a movie could ever do is just bore its audience, and I think this one does that. And I also think it's creepy in the wrong ways because we have our wonderful characters. That's a joke if you couldn't tell. We have the main protagonist, Dr. Daniel Chalice, and he is creepy for absolutely no reason. Like, his character makes completely no sense in the story. Like, there's no reason for him to be there. Did nobody ever question why this dude is so interested in solving this mystery? Because I think the cool part about this movie is that you have this mystery that people are trying to solve, and it's cool. It's different because in the previous two Halloween movies, it really wasn't like that. Like, it was much more personal attack and just slasher. And this one, they're like trying to figure things out. They're going places and asking people things. The doctor has no reason to be there. First of all, all, he's a doctor and he literally does no doctor things. He's actually trying to be a cop the entire time, and he's only asking people for help. Like, he doesn't do anything himself, which makes him useless. Second of all, okay, like, there's just no reason, because he was in the hospital the night that this person died. We learned that he has kids at home and like a wife or something, and the entire time in the entire movie he's just flirting with people. And at the beginning there's like a really weird scene of like slapping the nurse, and just like weird scenes that just don't make any sense. And like, okay, maybe they wanted to make his character look like an asshole, but like, why? Like, it just, his character makes no sense. It's just the biggest problem of the movie, because we're with him the entire time. And then there's Ellie Grimbridge, and I do get a reason for her being there, because she's the daughter of the first guy that died, so I get her wanting to find out stuff about this mystery because that's her dad. But here's where it gets weird and her character is totally ruined, because her and Dr. Daniel Chalice get together. I don't know why they show their relationship so much, because it's just very uncomfortable. Like, the age gap is so different, and also, what does that even say about her character? Like, her dad just died and she's over here getting with the guy that's trying to help her for absolutely no reason, because he has no association with the guy that died, and her character doesn't even have good enough development, because before we know it, the movie ends, she's turned into a robot and she dies. And like, that scene is so laughable at the end. It's just like, what's the point? I just don't get the point of these characters. And let me talk about the death scenes, because I have problems with the death scenes too. So they look good. Like, I think the practical effects look really good in this movie. And yeah, that goes for the entire movie. I said it before, but the directing was really great, and I think it had a really nice look to it the entire way through. I feel like the deaths don't really make sense in some of them. Like, I just don't get why these people died, because obviously in slashers people die all the time. I really never understood why the guy at the beginning was being targeted, because they end up going to this town, Ellie and the doctor, and I like the look of the town. It looks very like interesting and creepy, and I get why people in that town die. Like, I totally get that, but I don't get why the guy at the beginning was being chased. I don't know if I missed something, but just me not understanding why they were attacking him at the beginning just like literally means the movie makes no absolute sense. Because of that is why the movie, I guess, starts. And one of the most, like, I guess, gruesome ones that there is in this movie is the one where like she gets a coin and like it blows up in her face or something. But I also have a pet peeve with that. It's like a nitpick. Randomly, like, she dies and then bugs start coming out of her, but like, why? I just think a lot of this movie doesn't make any sense, and like, it's laughable. So I do want to say that this movie does get positive points, because I like the song that plays, the Happy, happy Halloween, 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 happy, happy Halloween, silver shamrock. It's a bop, like, I can't lie. And I think there are some creepy scenes with that song, and also the score, like I was saying, I really like it, and it has an eeriness to it that I enjoy. And there's something about little kids singing that has always scared me, and I think the little Happy Happy Halloween song works really well. And this goes to show that the concept of this movie, I think, is pretty cool. I like the idea that this company is developing these masks to kill a bunch of children. I think it's really interesting and like crazy. I wish we would have actually seen that happen, because the way the movie cuts off, I just don't really know what happened with the masks and all of that. Like, I wanted to see if his kids were fine, because we did see it work with one kid, and we saw it work like a couple of times, and that scene I thought was really scary, like the family in the room and they're just like dying and stuff. So yeah, I wish we would have been able to like see that more, and we really didn't, which makes the entire movie pointless again. There's a scene that I like, and it's like when they get Daniel, Dr. Daniel, and it's like about to be at the end, and then the guy, the creepy guy, he says,
"It'll be morning soon. Halloween morning. Be a very busy day for me."
And I really like that line, because I'm like, oh crap, what's gonna happen on Halloween? And I honestly think they should have brought Michael Myers in there in that scene, because I think it would have been cool if like he took the masks out of one of the robot people and it was Michael. Like, I just wish they would have incorporated Michael Myers into this movie just a little bit, instead of him just being on the TV, because I think it would have worked so much better if this like had a connection to the other movies. I think the most frustrating thing about this movie is that I think the concept is so interesting and they could have really made it work, but they just had such terrible characters that it ruined the entire movie, and for that reason I'm gonna give this movie a D. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen Halloween 3 and you still want to, don't get discouraged. I just talk so negatively about it. I have heard people that say they like it, and I looked up online and some people say it's like very misunderstood, so there are people out there that like it. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, go ahead and watch it. I always say that, and make your own opinions and then let me know what you think. But if you have seen it and you haven't commented down below what you thought about it, then please go ahead and do so. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching today's review. I really appreciate it, and make sure to follow me on all of my social medias. I have Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd. I've been very active on Letterboxd because I've been watching movies like every day, so make sure to check out my Letterboxd. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time for more Halloween reviews and many more movie reviews. Bye guys!